Da 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 da. What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple of minutes. Get those notifications out. In the meantime, if you've never popped into one of my lives, hi, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. And we have for a year now been picking powerful words each Monday and working through those words in different experiences, perspectives. Sometimes it's a lesson or an insight from somebody out there that I admire. Sometimes it's just something that comes across my path, possibly even just sitting at the bus stop and having a chit chat with somebody, right? My lessons come from all over the place. And I believe those other parts of me, right, are very creative in how they get that message to me. And I think I absorbed a little bit of a lesson on this set of days off. And first off, it's Thursday. The first thing I'm going to do is say, grateful for that job that puts the roof over my head, that job that allows me to ground in it, to remind myself that I'm human, to pull me away from something that just would just love to just suck me off and take me off. You know what I mean? It didn't sound quite proper, but that idea that I could easily get lost in the lessons 100%. I think a lot of people, when they first wake up to some of these ideas, they're answering a lot of questions for ourselves. And in getting those answers that we've always searched out, right? Those answers that some of us are just desperately searching for in order to resolve something desperate that's going on in our own lives. We can munch on that. We can get addicted to that. I'm grateful. I am grateful for, I believe, my healthy addictions, because I see in the evidence of my own life and where I'm sitting now and where possibly I was sitting not 6 years ago, and see how far I have come, right? In the own betterment of my life. I said when I came in live that I'm grateful for how those lessons get to me, and I believe that a lesson was absorbed into my system at the end of my work week last week, and it was just like, you're going to take it easy this weekend. You're going to do minimum. You're still going to get things done, and you're still going to enjoy your days off, but you're not going to waste a lot of energy. You're not. You're going to do the minimum. And I feel good today. I feel like I've made some movement on my day. Boy, yeah, I know I have made some movement on my set of days off. Delving in some of those things that, right, those healthy addictions that help to distract me from what's going on with other parts of me, right? I'm not so interested, and I don't really believe that I need to be in that mix. The whole idea in my movement is to untangle those wires, to recognize, right, what Cindy's life looks like, how it moves, and how it dances and interacts with the dreams and expectations and goals that those other parts of me, right? They've got plans too. And in that partnership, in that love for myself, right? And this is a lesson, because I don't always feel like I love myself. Even saying that I love myself feels kind of, right? Right? But it is true, because in that recognition that those other parts of me have never been too far away, right? And it's a realization and a knowing that I have, that as much as I have struggled in my life, right? And right, probably going along for that ride, kicking and screaming, not being a good student, right? Not being a participant in some ways of my life up until fairly recently, that those other parts of me came along for that ride. I gotta love that. I've always felt secure and comforted and contained in that relationship with myself, right? Not recognizing that lots of people out there are just kind of lost and on their own, or maybe not even on their own. Maybe those other parts of them are flying with them and dancing with them too, but in that lack of recognition or lack of lessons, right? The wake up calls, that is going unnoticed. And again, right? We are taking those other parts of us along for the ride. So, Cindy, in her creation of the best human being she possibly can, right? Working towards some of those goals, those dreams, those comforts for myself, right? Recognizing in the lessons how much I matter, that at any point I could have moved in the direction that I wanted to, right? But I didn't have those lessons at the time. But that's not stopping me. That's not stopping me now. I'm going for it, right? With how much enthusiasm, I don't know. I'm not taking out the whip in that, right? I'm not going mush, but at the same time, being the spectator and the student, and, right, finding my place, finding that comfortable space, right? Through setting boundaries around myself, that I'm able to center myself in that space and be able to expand comfortably because, right, Cindy's doing the circle around that. And, right, that little space might be just little right now, but as we become comfortable in our own skin, as we become more confident in our lessons and in the people that we're taking these lessons from, and the sources that we're taking these lessons from, and in believing in ourselves and loving on ourselves and seeing the evidence just pop up in our lives, right? That's all we need, and all truth, right? It is all we need. We are creating the best human beings we possibly can, right? And those other parts of us are here to help, right? Definitely. This is the way I feel, right? That those other parts of me are kind of, right, experts in what they're experts in. And as much as I show up, I recognize just by coming into my lives afterwards and taking in the lessons for myself, that at the same time that I'm doing my spew, those other parts of me have something going on, are divvying out gifts and insights and, right, maybe a little bit of recognition of some of those aspects that might help in its movement, right? Just like, right, I'm searching out and getting the help that I need from those other parts of me. And it's funny saying those other parts of me, because those other parts of me are, right, they're individuals in their own right, and they don't necessarily, right, believe so much in creating the best human being they possibly can, because, right, sometimes people recognize that there's something else and they tag it as being superior or better than, rather than just recognizing that they're just different, right? My whole life I have been different. But I've recognized my difference, and I've kind of accepted my difference. And in accepting that, I guess I accepted myself a little bit, and, right? Always kept that door ajar to those other parts of me, right? That are trying to find their own way, right? That are making a little bit of movement for themselves, but rubbing up comfortably, uncomfortably, right? Or not in any way at all, right? Just a blank. when it comes to what it's rubbing up against. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing that I understand that I know that, right? That I'm contained myself in that part that I'm coming to learn to help make a container for, right? That all parts of me are going to get an opportunity to show up and do their own thing, right? And necessarily do I need to know what that thing is? No, I don't even know if I want to, right? But I recognize that it is much needed right now, right? And I know it's something good, and I know it's going to make a difference, and I know the only part that I've got to hold up to is just showing up, right? So that's where, right? That belief that I can create lies is just in that knowing. So I'm showing up and I'm just being a spectator, right? I'm just being a student to the movement forward that I'm seeing with my own experience, right? I'm not just seeing it with my own eyes. I'm seeing it with my own experience. And that is the evidence for me, right? And it's part of that love because, right, I could have easily have not been here. I could have easily have not realized any of that. And just the fact that I did is the evidence in itself that, I cared, right? Something about me cared enough to give me this invitation, this shot, right? This dance in life. And yeah, I'm loving where this is going, right? It's scary when you don't see, right? When you don't understand, but when you get a little bit of understanding and you get a few tools and you get a few groundings in those things that you're moving towards that you actually recognize and see what it is transpiring to be, right? That's the evidence. And I think I would wish that for everybody at this time because, I think a lot of people are missing out, right? And I don't think the people who, it's just the people who are unaware of what they're missing out. I think that's a small part of it because those gaps in my own movement, my own life, and where I'm sitting now in comparison to where I might have been sitting, right? That could have looked a lot different, right? But we're moving forward, right? Moving forward a little bit better. And I'm going to be careful what I wish for, right? Because movement is kind of difficult, isn't it? Because movement requires change, right? You make that decision, right? We can all think and dream and wish all we want, but without moving towards that, how can we manifest anything, right? So I'm going to have to say I'm grateful to myself. And in this week that we're talking about love, right? Or slap, right? Sometimes it's in what we can't express that we express the most, right? That's why actions are so important, right? It is the evidence 100%. Okay, you guys, I've got to run off to work. It's the first day in the job that puts the roof over my head. All my energy, if not most of it anyway, is going to go towards that job in appreciation for having something that can take me away, right? That I could easily get lost in the lessons 100%. But I only need to know what I need to know in this moment. I don't need to know what's coming, right? Next year, 10 years from now, 10 lifetimes from now, I could ride those waves when they happen, right? If I only recognize the little conversations that happen with ourselves along the way, right? And I think with a few lessons, that few tools that are on my belt right now, I don't think I'm going to miss too much next time, right? So I'm going to give it a shot now. It's never too late. It's going to get me a little bit further ahead, and we'll see next time around, right? How amazing I do, right? And it's not a contest. It's not a contest. It's just sometimes in my limiting beliefs, I think I'm not far behind. We all do. You guys have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.